Hey there, everybody. This is McFly Gold, and welcome to the second episode of the point and click adventure toolkit tutorial series. That's not a mouthful at all. All right, so when we last left off, we had this room with a couple of doors and some trigger volumes, and it allowed you to walk around, click the door to open it, and now you are upstairs. And to prove I'm upstairs, I can hit F8 here. And yeah, there you go. See? Not downstairs, I'm upstairs. Hit possess, I can go back to the door. And now I'm downstairs. Again, I'll prove it. See? Now I'm downstairs, not upstairs. I'm just saying that because, like, it could look like you're just walking through the same door because the rooms are identical. But we're going to fix that now. We are going to create our first interactable objects. They're not going to be like inventory items that you collect and store, just something to click on in the scene and something will happen. So the first one we will do will be the nightstand. So I'm going to bring that in. And do not create material. Okay, import. So the nightstand will come with two meshes, the actual stand itself, and then the drawer. We're not worried about collisions per se with these, but we will color them really quick. So back over here, we'll go to the game, scenes, forest demo, scene content, materials, and we will use the, let's see, the wood and gold for the handle. Save that, and for this, we will use the wood. There you go. So now they won't look all ugly. And then we will go into our blueprints, right click, go to blueprint class, and in all classes, we are going to search for interact so that we can select this base object here, interactable object base, and we will name it BP nightstand. Open it up. It's opening on my other monitor. And what we want to do is give myself some room here. Go back to the meshes. Control click those two meshes and then just drag them on in. So you'll see that they're lined up perfectly. You don't have to worry about that the way I modeled and exported them. Compile. All right. Now what we're going to do is make it so that when you click on the nightstand, the drawer will open up. So you'll see right now that the drawer's location is 000. We're going to move it out to, let's say, 50. 40, 50, it's up to you. You can move it out here if you really like to, but we'll do 50. So in order to do that, we are going to go to our event graph here, and we don't need those. We're going to create two custom events. So right click, search for a custom, and we're going to call this one open drawer. And then we'll do another one, right click, custom, and close drawer. The next thing we'll do is make a timeline. There it is. And you don't really have to worry about naming it. That's not really that important here. We're going to play from start and reverse from end. So that is going to give us our animation. If you double click on the timeline, we'll create a new float track. You can name this, if you wish, to alpha. If you hold shift and click on this line, we can add 2 points. The first one we're going to set to 0, and the value will be 0. The second one we will bring to 0.5, and the value will be 1. Now click away from the points and hit these little guys here that zooms in for us. And you can mouse to scroll. We're going to change the length of this to 0.5 because that's how long our animation is. Then we're going to select both points, right click on one of them, hit auto, and flatten. So we get a nice little curve. And then we can close that timeline. Now we have our little alpha here. Next thing we're going to do is grab our nightstand drawer, bring this out, and we're going to search for location. And we want to set relative location. And we will connect that to our update. Now this location here is, we're going to change this X1 here. We're going to pull off of this, and we're going to type lerp and get vector. And I'm going to pull this out a little bit. We'll connect the alpha to the alpha. For A, that's going to be our starting position. We want to leave that at 0, 0, 0. And for B, we said we would move it 50. On the X, Y, and Z can stay 0. And that's the end of that. Save. Now we want to come over here to the functions, hit override, and use object. And here, we'll pull this apart. I want to call the parent function. And we can just disconnect that for now. Connect these guys up. The next thing we're going to do is let's get a branch. I did that by holding B and then clicking. So you know the little shortcut there. And we'll connect these two up. And then we're going to also connect this success to that. And we'll just do this to make it a little bit easier to read. We still have some work here. Over here on the side, we're going to click on this little eyeball and show inherited variables. The one that we want is here under object state, is used. So if you hold Control and drag it in, you'll get a getter. We're going to B and connect that. Like so. And so for the false, we're going to connect that straight up. And then we'll do the whole, let's make it pretty thing. We need to actually pull all of this out a little bit more. We need a little bit more room here. All right. The next thing we want to do is, with still getting the used, we're just going to drag it straight onto the pen. And we're going to get 2 of these guys. Now we want to set when we use it, if it's used or not. So for false, we're going to set it to true. And if it's true, we're going to set it to false. Then all we want to do here is call these 2 custom events that we made before. So if you start from the beginning, we're going to use the object. It's going to check, is it used? Which by default is no. So it's going to set it to use. And then we're going to open the drawer. And then we can connect that into there. We'll probably pull these down a little bit. And for this one, we're going to close the drawer. There you go. And connect that into there. Compile and save. And that's it. We should be done. So if we go into the level and go to our blueprints and drag the nightstand in, rotate it around, and we'll just put it here against the wall for now. And we want one of these interaction volumes, so search for volume here. You can just copy this one over, but I'll just drag a new one into the scene. Pull it up, rotate it, and I want it off to the side so that he's not standing like right in front of the nightstand when he uses it. Then here in the details panel, we will add an array element and pick the nightstand. So that should be it. It should work. Save our scene, hit save all, and let's test it out. We walk over to it, click, click. Hey, we have a working drawer. All right. Now, if you want to, we can open up the blueprint for the stand here, come to the global interaction component, and for display name, we can type in nightstand. Save that. And if you hit play, there you go. Now it says nightstand when you hover over it. Click. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is the lamp. So I'm going to drag that into our meshes folder. And import. We'll double click on that. Now this one has a lot of I got a little excited when I was modeling this. So it has like details that don't really matter because you won't see them. Like there's a little nut that holds this together, and each little thing is its own material slot. So all right, save. And now we will make the blueprint. We're going to do the same thing we did before. Go to blueprint class, search for enter, grab the base, select BP lamp. Open that up. And grab the mesh. And we'll just drag it in. There we go. So now you'll see that this one isn't like sitting on the floor because I have this set up so that we can do it now. Actually, when you put it in the scene, it'll fit perfectly on the nightstand. So drag it in, rotate it 180 degrees. And then here we will grab this and copy its location, grab that, and paste its location. And look at that. Fits perfectly. Did I line it up? Wow, I did that perfectly. I put the nightstand exactly where it needed to be. Good job. All right. So now what we're going to do is a little interaction for the lamp that will turn on a light when you click on it. Even though that's lit, it's not going to actually light the scene. So here we're going to add a light. We'll do a point light. Whoops. Always do that. I try to move up. It doesn't. It ends up moving the object. All right. I guess that should be a good spot for it. It looks like it's basically right in the light. I don't know if that'll work or not. We'll see. Okay. So now with that, actually, if it's already visible in the scene. Oh, yeah. See? There you go. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to get into the actual coding of it. Grab these and delete them. Custom event. And we'll just call this one use light. Now this one's going to be a little bit easier. I'm going to add a little delay here, so I'm going to hold D and click. That'll give me a delay. I'm going to leave it at 0.2. That's fine. We're going to grab the point light, bring it in, and we're going to toggle visibility. And then we will connect those up. And that's it. This little custom event is finished. Now, click on the point light here in your Components tab, and under Visibility, turn that off. This way it will be off by default. If we go back to our scene, it's not on anymore. And then here, we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to override use object. And this is it's almost the same setup as before. Just, I guess, one less branch. So we're going to right click on the use object and call the parent function. Connect those up. B and click to get a branch. Connect those up. And that. Double click and make that more readable. Now, I do want to add one more thing here, but for now, we'll just call the custom event we made, which was use light, and connect that up. And for the false, connect that there. And we'll, again, extend the readability of this a little bit. And save. So technically, that should be it. Click play. Click. It worked, but you'll notice he hesitated, walked off to the side there. That's because I didn't set an interaction volume for the lamp. So we're going to add another element because we can use the same one and pick the lamp. Save. Now save all. Now you should just walk straight to the spot. Click. Perfect. And yeah, I guess that's it for that. I do have another object to add, but I want to add a little bit more functionality to this. The first thing we could do, if you wanted to, again, you could come to the interaction component here, and under display name, we can write lamp. This way, when we're in the the scene and you hover over it, it says lamp, nightstand. But what we're going to do here, still in our blueprints folder. Let's see. Yeah. Let's go to the blueprints folder and we're going to make our first data table. This will be for dialogue. We'll right click and miscellaneous data table. Now this is one of the things that confused me when I first tried to figure this stuff out. There's a lot of stuff in here. So what we want really is just this one, the one that just says dialogue. So we'll click on that, hit OK, and then we'll name this DT dialogue, OGE, and then I'll name it level 1, since that's what it's for. And now we have to link this to our scene manager. If we don't, it's not going to work. We're not going to get anything out of it. It needs to know that it's supposed to look here for dialogue in our scene. Now, by default, this has the dialogue examples, which if you click on this little magnifying glass, you can open this up. And these are the ones that are in the little demo scene. So there's one of two things you can do. You can leave those there if you want to. I don't believe there's any harm in doing that. And you can just click on this plus sign and add another array element to it. Or you could just overwrite this one here so that it only references what's in your scene. Like I said, I don't think there's any harm in leaving that there if you wanted to. But I don't need it. So we're going to delete that, and I'm just going to change this one, which I'll do over here by going back to the one that I made. And we'll click on it and just hit this little arrow. And so now it's only referencing this data table here. Save everything. Now we're going to open it up, click add. So that's going to add a new row. Double click on that new row and we're going to name it use lamp. Save that. Now down here for sequence, we're going to click this little plus icon here, drop this down, and in here we're just going to write, let's put a star and right click and star. So what this is going to be is a visual sound effect to signify that we've pressed a button. And under visual settings, I'll change this. Let's say 0.5. So it's only half a second long. There we go. We'll save that. Now, here, we're going to scooch this over. I'm going to right click and I'm going to search for start and then D for dialogue. We'll connect this way. And for the row, it's going to be this row that we called use lamp. So, nope, don't do that. That's opening up the function library, which we don't need. Just click there. There we go. So we're going to type in use lamp. Make sure that you spell it exactly the same way. And here we're going to choose self. Reference to self. Compile. And let me see. I think in here, okay, so yeah. It shouldn't be there. We want to use the initiator. I'm pretty sure that that's the right option there. Otherwise, when we said click, it would appear over the player's head. That should be good enough to test. I'll walk over to it, click. Nope, it appeared all the way up there. Let's go back. Let's leave that as player, but I don't think that's right either. I may be missing something. Save. And start the scene over. Click. Yeah, see, now it's now it's appearing over over our head. Oh, I think I get it. I think I get it. All right. So we did want this to be the initiator. But in here, we don't have something that's telling it where it's supposed to be talking from, basically. So what we want to do is add a component, and it's going to be, let's just search for dialogue. There we go. BP dialogue position scene component. So we'll click on that, and then we're going to pull it up. Let's say there. So that's 140 on the Z there. Compile, and that should do it. Click. Perfect. Click. If you think 0.5 is a little short, we can say it's 1 second. Click. Click. All right. Now, you can add sound effects to this. I don't have sound effects to provide, so you'll have to do your own there. But I believe, yeah, in here under audio settings, you can add a sound effect. Or here in the actual function, you could even do it like right here. Just add a sound at the end of this, and you would have a sound effect. All right. So I did want to do one more item, and that's going to be the chest item. So under our meshes folder, I'm going to grab the chest, bring that in, import. That comes in 2 pieces also. And we could close the dialogue for now. And close the lamp in there too. Okay. So for this, we'll do the same thing we did before. We'll use the light brown, and then I added some little stripes there, and for that we'll use the gold. You open up the lid, and we'll do the same thing. We'll do the light brown and the gold. There we go. Save those, close them, and this will be a process that now we should be familiar with. New blueprint class, and here, interactable, object base, and we'll call it BP chest. Open that, and back in the meshes, we'll control click both of those, drag them in. Now this one doesn't line up perfectly because I needed it to rotate at a point, but it's very easy to align. You just pull it over 3 times and up a couple. There we go. Now this is going to rotate open and reveal something inside in a future episode. So 90 degrees is what we want to rotate, and that'll be 90 on the Y. I know the other numbers change. It's so weird that it does that, but that's the gist of it there. That's what we need to worry about, is that Y rotation. So we're going to do this one the way we did the nightstand. So we'll create 2 custom events. This will be open chest. Or open chesy. There we go. And custom. There we go. I'm typing around my microphone, which is in my face, and I'm a slow typer and I have to look at the keyboard because I'm not super cool. So sorry about that. All right, the next thing we want to do is a timeline. And we're going to do the same thing we did before, which is play from start and reverse from end. I like to straighten those up. You select them all and hit Q, and that'll straighten them up like it's down there like that. Just hit Q. There you go. We're going to double click, add a new float track. Again, we can name this alpha. Hold shift, click twice on the line. The first one will be 0, 0. And the second one will be 0.5 and 1. Click away and then click these 2 guys to zoom out. Select them both, right click, auto, and flatten. And change the length to 0.5 also. We can close that. And now we're going to grab the top. And then this one, instead of looking up location, we're looking up rotation. And we want to set the relative rotation. Connect our update. And then just like before, we're going to lerp. Drag the alpha to the alpha. And we want to change the Y to 90. Compile and save. Okay, now we're going to go to the functions, override, use object. This we want to drag way out because we're going to do things. Right click and call the parent function. Let's connect these. B for branch. Connect these. And not the false, or not the true, the false. Connect those up. And clean this up, get stuff out the way. All right. So we're going to do what we did before, which is you should have this available here. It should already be checked off because you did it earlier. For object state, we'll hold control and drag as used. B for another branch and connect that up. And then drag and connect to each of those. See, now these things are in the way. And actually, we could just Control C, Control V, and copy that. So if it's not used, we're going to set it to used. If it is used, we're going to set it to not used. And then here, we're going to close it. And here, we're going to open it. Connect these up. And save. That should be it. We go back to our blueprints. Bring the chest in. I didn't make it easy to tell where's the front and the back. I'm sorry about that. But I'm pretty sure I just rotated it. Like it came in this way, so I rotated it this way. And I do want to have that over here, because there is something I want to put over there later. But we do want to pull it away from the wall. And now let's grab that. Hold Alt and drag. We're going to put it in front of the chest. On the details panel, we can get rid of that and pick that. Save. I believe. Yay! It worked. There we go. We can open that. Click. And if we go through the door, empty upstairs. And everything's still on. I'll turn that off to save electricity. Close this so we don't hit our knee when we're walking by it. And close this because it'll get dusty in there. All right. So we have made 3 interactable objects. 1, 2, 3. We have made a dialog data table, which gets used with the lamp. We've linked our scene manager to it. And this is coming along nicely. All right. In the next episode, I will make a actual inventory item that we're going to put into, whoops, see, did it again, that we will put into the chest, and that is going to allow us to leave this room. This door will be locked, and you won't be able to go through that door until you have the item that's in that chest. That's the thing we'll do in the next episode. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Let me know if this is helpful in any way. And I will catch you in the next episode. Bye.